Alright, today is October the 19th, 2015, and we're watching Hurricane Olaf. And Olaf has 140 mile per hour winds today. It has strengthened into a Category 4 storm, and this storm is moving west at 10 miles per hour. The storm has an eyewall towards the end of this sequence. At the beginning of the loop, there is no wall, but all day long this storm has been targeted with a microwave transmitter, and the wall comes and goes depending on when it's hit. Let's go look at the map here, the water vapor loop. We can see this blast pattern all the way around. Early in the video sequence here, we can see the eye wall is missing, but then the storm rebuilds, and we see this blast pattern. There's water vapor shooting out all over the place right here, all the way around that storm. So the storm has been allowed to build up into a Category 4, but they will kill it off when it turns right and heads up towards Hawaii. We'll get to see that happen because they won't let this storm hit Hawaii. They will kill it off and weaken it, and we've seen that happen all season long. Let's go look at this in the infrared loop. We can see that eye wall. Okay. And so they're hitting it, and the storm rebuilds, the core rebuilds, and we can see a very good blast pattern right here. All of this water vapor shooting out. Okay, and also there's a disturbance right over here that is about 80% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. Let's look at the hurricane map right here, the National Hurricane Center information, and we have Olaf right here with a 140 mile per hour winds, moving west at 10 miles per hour at 949 millibar core pressure. All right, that storm is going to turn to the north, according to the forecast, on about Wednesday. And so the islands over here are going to be on hurricane watch again, and we'll keep an eye on that and see what develops. All right, let's go back and take a look at this disturbance. This thing has a 80% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. So we're going to have, before we know it, we're going to have 2 hurricanes out here. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Let's go back to the maps again. And let's take a look at the big map here. This is the Northeast Pacific Water Vapor Loop. And we see that there is a low pressure passing through Southern California. We had some scattered rain in the valley areas and also around the Los Angeles area. Some rain was actually very heavy, but up here in the foothills it didn't last long. We had just a light smattering of rain, although there was some cells that dropped a lot of rain within about a 10-minute period, and then it just moved on. All right, so right now we have 70% relative humidity with about a 52-degree dew point. And the temperature right now is around 63 degrees in Los Angeles, here in the foothills. All right, we've got a storm up here, and this storm has a HARP transmitter on it right here, and this heat right here is indicated as a emerging warm front on the surface analysis map. That's how they've defined this hot air area right here. It is weakening the core of this storm as it moves towards Canada. We'll get to see that here in a minute. Now we've got a cold front here. This has a HARP transmitter right here. This is high pressure, and that is going to run a lot of this moisture up and over into Canada. But right now it's moving on the jet stream down and making a left turn here, where it is broken up by this hot air division that's being set up, this electronic wall right here. This will prevent this moisture flow from feeding into this low right here, and also feeding into this low right over here. This is the low that passed over California a couple of days ago. This was a dry upper level low, and as soon as it leaves California and moves out over the Great Basin and out over towards the mid part of the country, it rebuilds. So this was basically a dry low, looked just like this one here, because it had a HARP transmitter. It had a HARP transmitter on it right here 2 days ago, and then when it moves out over the country, it rebuilds. So that's always interesting to watch when these storms, these lows are over California. They keep the transmitter on it so that it will not produce any rain or any good amount of rain. When the thing blows away, like we see with this system here, this rebuilds and we have a lot of rain bands right here all the way around that front. So that's interesting. The same thing will happen here. Once this moves out of California, it'll rebuild because they'll pull a transmitter off of it and relocate it out over a new job that they've got to deal with right out here. So that indicates there may be a shortage of satellite-based transmitters or HARP transmitters to deal with the myriad of weather situations. Pardon me. There's a lot of things happening here. We've got a new cold front coming out of the Aleutian Islands area in the Bering Sea to accompany this spinning system here. Let's go take a look at this in the infrared loop. We have a lot of moisture in these systems, just a lot of moisture all over, and that's what this map indicates. The color infrared loop shows us the rain intensity, and we can see that intensity down here on this this color chart right here. All right. Okay, let's look at some of these other maps now. We've got the western U.S. water vapor loop. This is that low that brought some rain into California today, some heavy at times. I don't have any numbers right now for the rainfall here. It's probably less than 1/8 of an inch because it didn't rain too long, but there was some scattered rain. We do have the jet stream that's being cut off right here by this electronic wall. This is a radar that's basically cutting a knife right through this flow. This is the jet stream coming down and around, up here and down and around, and it's being cut off right here, and then that will separate this moisture field from feeding that low and also winding into this system here, which is just passed over California 2 days ago. All right, here's the infrared loop of that front. Let me refresh that. All right, that one's frozen. Okay, so is this one? All right, well, we got a problem there. Technical difficulties. All right, here we go. Okay, we lost one of our maps. Everything's mixed up here. There we go. All right, so this is the infrared loop for the western U.S., just showing the intensity of the rainfall. They've got a HARP transmitter on this low right here. There's not much rain showing up here on the radar. This is the low that just passed over California. You can see that it's rebuilt. This was a dry low 2 days ago, just like this one is here right now when it's over California. When this passes off to the northeast, the same thing will happen. It'll rebuild. I find that interesting. Why don't these storms deliver rain when they're over California? All right, let's go look at the we looked at the jet stream, and that HARP transmitter down here was cutting this off. We just looked at that. Let's look at the sea level pressure map. There is a area of high pressure here, and that is pushing all this moisture up and over, and then we got the jet stream that comes back down. There's a low indicated here. All right, let's look at the 500 millibar chart. We've got a ridge here. That high pressure is going to run all this over, and we've got that storm up here and a trough. And here is the 300 millibar. We've got a low indicated here, and we're getting some rain from all this. So this will move away, and then not sure what's going to happen next. Let's take a look at the surface analysis chart. We've got this storm indicated right here, and a cold front, and then we have this HARP transmitter right here, which is indicated right here. We got a warm front merging with the cold front right here, and California's down over here, and we got Hawaii right down here. So we're going to keep an eye on these hurricanes. There, that one hurricane, Olaf, and we will be doing an update tomorrow. Right now, it's just hard to say what's going to happen. There's so much going on. They're trying to build a division right in here. That's the number one thing, is they're going to cut this jet stream flow off to this system here. Otherwise, this is going to become a very large system that'll be out on the East Coast by the end of the week. All right, so we've got this system here as well. So it looks like they're going to try to dry things out. There is a Santa Ana wind forecast because of high pressure they're pumping up right here over the Great Basin. So there may be some offshore winds as a result of that high pressure that's going to develop right here. And so they are forecasting winds, and we'll just do an update tomorrow. Okay, so that's it.